Everything I do, I just listen to it. Everything I do is just a penetrate. I just want to say thank you to you. We are living like I get the desert for my ghetto. Never forget where I come from, I'm from ghetto. I just want to say thank you, Jehovah. Hey. Hello, friends. It is your favorite Scrum Master here in Mbengam. And if I'm not your favorite Scrum Master yet, don't worry about it. I got you, okay? Today, we're going to focus on facilitating an effective retrospective for your first time. You just got on a team. It's an existing team, and you're really trying to figure out where are some of their pinpoints to be better and be successful as you move forward with them. Okay, so as you know, I've always created a board, and I got you. I'm going to go ahead and share the board with you so you can see how it's set up. I tend to use this format specifically because I think it's always important for the team to assess themselves, right? You would have met all the team members at this point, and everybody have their own understanding as far as like what they would like to do differently for the team and what they like and dislike about the team. But this really helped the team to really reset and get them to really reflect on what's going really well, what are the things that they need to improve, and some actions that they can take immediately, right? So I use this format for start. What are some of the things that they want to start doing that they're not currently doing right now? What are things that they want to stop doing because it's not working for them? And what are the things that they want to continue because it's working really well? Okay, so this is really a good format for you to assess and allow them to reflect on what's really happening, how can they do better, right? And you don't have to figure this out by yourself. The team always has the answer, like I said. So that's that. So one of the things that I always do is make sure I have an icebreaker, and then we do a shout out, right? The shout out essentially is to allow team members to be able to, recognize each other for the great work they've contributed in achieving the goal, and or just contributing to their day-to-day activity. All right. Once that is done, I tend to give the team and say, okay, guys, they should have already filled this out before we get to the meeting. But in the case that they didn't get to fill it out already, I would give them about 10 to 15 minutes to fill it out in silence. Sometimes I put music on while they're filling out this board. And once that is done, it's done. And we're ready for conversation. So one of the places that I'll start first is like, all right, it seems like a lot of people put some stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and start reading off the first one. The first one is blah, blah, blah. And then allow people to talk. What does this mean? What do we mean by this, right? Depending sometimes if there's like 10 stuff on there, we will just vote. On the start, we just focus on one column and say, okay, for this first start column, let's vote on the one we want to talk about first. What are the things that we want to start doing, and allow people to express themselves. Some actions can sometimes come out of this conversation, right? It's really action driven, really. If they want to start doing, then it's like an immediate action that they would want to do in the future. So that's that. Once we're done talking about that, we go to stop. Let's talk about some of the things that we want to stop doing because it's not helpful for us, right? We talk about that, like the same process. If it's a lot of things, we would just vote which ones of this they want to talk on. And then once we're done talking about it, we debrief, and then we have an understanding that, okay, maybe if stand up is at 8 a.m. and they want to stand up at 10:30, well, an action also can come out from the stop column. And then the last part is to talk about things that we want to continue doing, right? What are things that are going really well and we want to keep doing it because it's working for us. Once they're done with this, same process. If it's a lot of things, we will vote on it and then discuss, then we'll move forward, okay? The goal at the end of the day is for us to have an actionable plan, right? An action item so that we can improve in the future. Just make sure that whoever is taking the action has their name on it, because sometimes you can have all these conversations, we come out with actions, and then expectation is like, oh, the Scrum Master is going to take care of it. No, The Scrum team members are responsible for implementing the action items. Yes, there's some activities that may come up for Scrum Master to schedule something, or for Scrum Masters to help create something, maybe create, I don't know, documentation for X, Y, and Z, or put meeting on people's calendar. Those activities can happen. However, for the majority of it, action items are driven by the team members. So just make sure that you reinforce that. Once I'm done with my action items, I typically just put it on Jira. In Jira, I have a epic there for continuous improvement. And every action item just goes underneath that. So it gets treated as part of the board for the people who are assigned it. When it comes time for what is it called? Daily Scrum, they will also provide update as far as like what they're doing, right? Provide progress as far as like what they're doing with the action item and if they're completed it or not. If not, we're just going to talk about it, how we can make sure that it gets completed. All right. So I hope this was helpful. I'm sharing this information so that you can make informed decision. You don't have to take any of what I just shared, but this is how I do my retrospective, and it has been helpful. So you just need to assess what your situation is. Of course, if it is a new team, you will not do start, stop, and continue because they have not started anything and they don't know where they're going yet, right? So you would do probably your basic format, right? What went well, didn't go well, and stuff like that. We can do interactive team bonding activities with them because it's their first retrospective. You just figure out what field the team is for. Some team members just write like the regular format, but retrospective for the Scrum Master. So be creative. All right, thank you. Have a good one. Bye.